Hi, my name is Michael Nuñez from VentureBeat. We're here live from GTC 2024 talking with Kirk Skaugen, Executive Vice President of Lenovo and President of ISG and the Office of the CEO. Kirk, can you give us some background on the Lenovo and Nvidia partnership and sort of what brings you to the conference?
Yeah, well, Lenovo is one of those unique companies that truly participates from the pocket to the cloud. We're selling 4 to 5 devices a second across Motorola phones, being the world's largest PC company, and then all the way to the largest data centers in the world. So we truly have a multifaceted relationship with Nvidia. Largest gaming PC company, workstations. We're powering now 1 of 3 of the world's top 500 supercomputers, including the most sustainable supercomputer on the Green 500 with them. So everything we're doing with Nvidia is important here at GTC.
Wow, and that's a lot to cover, but you know, I'd love to just touch on some of the highlights of the partnership. So what are you trying to accomplish together, and you know, what can you tell us about sort of what's going on at GTC 2024?
Yeah, well, we have a common vision of AI for all, delivering AI from the pocket to the cloud. And this is an amazing conference because we're building on an investment portfolio we've made over many years. We're announcing a whole new set of workstations with new tools to help workstations and developers get into the market. We're announcing a set of autonomous driving solutions. We are launching a set of new services for AI to ensure that everyone can get access to both discovery, what's available, all the way through implementation and asset recovery. And then maybe most importantly, we've had 80 different AI solutions now as the 3rd largest AI infrastructure company in the world. Today we're launching, or yesterday we were launching 9 new solutions across the entire Nvidia portfolio, from water cooling with the Grace Blackwell, an enormous portfolio in the data center space.
Wow, so you know, I'd love to dive a little bit more deeply into that. You know, you shared that Lenovo and Nvidia have a long-standing partnership. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you're announcing together here at GTC, and maybe a little more detail around some of the things you just mentioned?
Yeah, so if you look at the services that we've got, you know, we're finding a lot of people are confused. There's 16,000 AI startups out there in the world. So Lenovo's gone and worked with Nvidia through our AI Innovation Center to build 165 solutions that we can now take out through services, even delivering as a service to the marketplace. So we've delivered about 50 different ISVs optimized on top of Nvidia solutions and then brought those to market. We're seeing an amazing generative AI build, obviously, that's the buzz around here, and a whole new portfolio that we'll talk about here in a second.
Yeah, so you just mentioned, I guess, the topic that everyone wants to talk about, generative AI. This was a big part of Jensen's keynote speech yesterday. He described it as sort of a foundational layer for a lot of software and infrastructure. You know, can you expound a little bit on how you think generative AI is going to impact enterprises, and what business leaders should be thinking about as they, you know, try to engage with this new technology?
Yeah, so I mean, look, we've had an amazing relationship with Nvidia on supercomputing. We're the provider to OVX in the Microsoft Azure cloud on the Omniverse infrastructure, and now we're talking about generative AI. So what's exciting to me is that the amount of data in the world has doubled over the last 3 years. We're only computing about 2% of that data, and that's more than all the history of the world's data created up until now combined. So we're seeing an explosion now, and what can we do with that 98% of the data that we've been throwing away? So we're going to see for enterprises, you know, some enterprises with racks maybe today of 2 to 4 kilowatt trying to deal with 100 to 120 kilowatt solutions in a rack. So we've announced some technologies that we've now had over 12 years of innovation on called Neptune, where we're using warm water in the data center to help cool these systems and actually get PUEs going from 1.5 to under 1.1 and getting an 80% reduction in data center power, working with some of the largest colos in the world to get this technology in so we can get access to that. And then all the way down to the edge. You know, I think part of our vision we'll talk about is AI for all, but we really want to get AI to where the data is created with our edge server portfolio that we call Think Edge.
You know, I'd love to click a little bit deeper into this AI for all idea. So Lenovo has talked quite often, you've mentioned it a couple times here, this vision for AI for all. Everyone's talking about AI in some capacity. What does AI for all mean, and how is Lenovo delivering on that vision? You know, tell us about the approach and what makes it unique.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, AI for all means AI for all. We're one of those unique companies that's in 180 markets of the world, again, shipping 4 to 5 devices a second, from PCs and new AI PCs to tablets to phones with Motorola. and now under the server space. So we believe that these foundational models are going to be personal, private, and public. So personal are things that you might only want to have a model that is on your phone, your tablet, or your PC. You want it to be your personal twin, if you will, help you remember, help you to be more thoughtful. We obviously have private models where we want to keep enterprise data either for sovereignty or for privacy reasons in the enterprise, and then we want to get public models. And how do you combine all three of those to give the best result to a consumer? Then you got this question, as I was saying earlier, we've invested a significant amount in the AI Innovators program to give access to some of this technology. So there's a lot of startups up there that we've worked on that might have 25 people, 100 people, 125 people. They're working with a large retailer or something, but then the retailer says, great, I love your technology, I'm going from 20 stores, I want to go to 20,000 stores in 120 countries. That's where Lenovo can come in, both for financial backing, with certifications, with our global sales force, and with our channel first mentality, with our system integrator and value-added reseller partners, getting that technology spread to every corner of the earth.
I love the framework that you just described about the difference between private and public, and being able to tap into each of those. Reminds me a lot of the cloud. I'd also be curious about some of the investments that you've been making. So tell us a little bit about the kinds of investments that Lenovo's been making in AI, and what do you think the long-term impact of artificial intelligence will be across Lenovo's business?
Yeah, well, it's going to touch every corner of our business, including our factories. We've run over 35 factories, 22 million square feet of facilities, and we're using it for visual inspection, for workplace safety, these kind of things. But we invested about $1.2 billion several years ago, so AI is not new to us. We made another recent investment of $1 billion, so what did we get out of that? We created 4 AI innovation centers in Stuttgart, in Taipei, in Beijing, and in Raleigh, North Carolina, partnering with Nvidia to bring people in to optimize the technology, get it optimized on Lenovo hardware, and build the solution to simplify it so we can deploy it at scale, not just in dozens of locations, but in thousands of locations out at the far edge. So that was a significant investment. That led to these 50 ISVs, 165 solution partners, and we recently announced, probably 6 months ago or so now, that we've crossed $2 billion in revenue, annual revenue, with now growing from number 6 to number 3 in the world in terms of AI infrastructure. And as you can tell from here, the excitement is bigger than ever, and that's just the beginning.
So, another idea I'd love to dive into is, you mentioned this idea of taking AI to the data, which feels a little bit not backwards, but a little unorthodox. So can you explain kind of what that means, and are there any interesting use cases Lenovo's seeing about how this is being implemented?
Sure, well, edge means a lot of things to a lot of people. Several years ago, we took 5 different divisions within Lenovo and combined them into one and created a ThinkEdge product line. So from the lowest end kind of embedded PC, if you will, that would have a smart sign or a kiosk or a point of sale terminal, all the way up to a 6 GPU far edge server. We now have a consistent way to manage and orchestrate that, because a lot of people were used to 10,000 servers in one location. Now we have one server in 10,000 locations, and we're trying to manage it, orchestrate it, keep it secure, these kind of things. So some examples of use cases: we're working with every Kroger store in the United States, the largest grocery chain in the United States, 3,000 plus stores, to automate their self-checkout, help against theft, misscans, and they've seen a 75% reduction in their misscans just by putting AI technology directly at the edge to notify consumers before they leave the store that there might have been a misscan. We're working with Grupa Pinza, which is one of the largest fishing fleets in the Pacific. Connectivity might be not there from an internet perspective, so they can actually detect when they put the fish into the net and take it out of the net. Are there endangered species? Do they have to be taken off the boat? Are the fish too small? They can go back. They might be a few days before they go back to port, and they can actually have their supply-demand equations and their pricing already set before they even get back to port. Working with City of Barcelona with thousands of street kiosks where we can do crash detection in the middle of the night and actually determine the analytics of, do we need to send police, ambulance, fire, this kind of thing. And then at MWC, we announced with Telefonica in the city of Madrid, actually using street cameras and drones to better deliver fire response, checking for fires, smoke in the city, smoke in their forestry. So these are use cases not just in a factory, but down into retail, and all the way to working with the largest fast food chains in the world to automate their drive-thrus, keep their French fries warm, food safety, it really has been a crazy year at the edge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you've said that really well. That captures a lot of different industries at just such a wide range. Are there any particular industries among those that you've mentioned that you see as sort of the forefront of AI at the edge? You know, whether it's an industry doing it extremely well or a specific business?
Well, I think we're definitely focused on smart manufacturing. You know, for example, we have detection in our factories to make sure that all the memory DIMMs are inserted correctly to improve our quality across the factory. We're working with some of the largest distribution companies in the world to check for box damage as things are flying past their warehouse lines at breakneck speed. In financial services, for fraud detection, in retail, as we mentioned, across pretty much every traffic flows and things in retail. So, you know, I would say there really isn't a part of the world right now that's not being touched by the edge.
Yeah, super exciting, and I think what that means is that we'll all be interacting with this stuff a lot more and just seeing it as baked into our everyday life a lot more. My last question for you is, what's next for Lenovo and Nvidia? Is there anything that we can tease maybe for the audience or allude to that you're excited about or that might be coming up following GTC?
Well, I think the amount of work being done in generative AI is amazing, and we're starting to see multi-billion-dollar build-outs in the cloud, but now moving that to be a hybrid cloud world down in the enterprise and the edge as well. AI PC, AI tablet, AI phone, and of course we announced this week as well some autonomous driving initiatives where we're using the Nvidia platform here as well. So whether you're digital twinning, whether you're generative AI, I think Lenovo and Nvidia are going to have a rock solid partnership going forward.
Well, exciting stuff. I think we'll all be looking forward to that. Great talking to you, Kirk. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been an awesome conversation. And thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to explore more sessions in the GTC catalog.
So thank you, Jensen, for your trust and great partnership. Let's continue to unleash the power of AI to drive innovation and transformation, starting from celebrating this hybrid AI initiative.
Thank you, YY.